20 black celebrities who couldn't stop cheating. What if you discovered that some of the biggest black celebrities, the ones who looked perfect on red carpets and charming in interviews, were living romantic lives that were anything but perfect? Imagine this. While the world saw loyal partners and picture-perfect couples behind closed doors, things were exploding. Secret hotel meetups, hidden messages, forbidden flings, stuff that could destroy careers in a heartbeat. These weren't tiny mistakes. These were patterns, cycles, temptations they just couldn't walk away from, no matter how hard they tried to keep everything quiet. You're about to step into the messy, chaotic world of stars who couldn't stay faithful. Here are 20 black celebrities who simply couldn't stop cheating. 20. Amo. When you look at Amo's life from the outside, it seems like the dream every rising producer wants. Big records, big collaborations, big wins. But behind all that shine, his personal life kept slipping into shadows he couldn't control. His marriage to Jude Demarest looked strong, creative, and unbreakable, yet the truth creeping behind their smiles told a completely different story. Rumors of cheating kept breaking through the surface like cracks in a glass window, and every time they tried to fix things, something new seemed to fall apart. People around them whispered about the late-night studio sessions that turned into secrets, and the trust that once held them together started crumbling piece by piece. Jude tried to stand tall through it all, but it's hard to hold on to peace when the person you love keeps slipping away. Amo's world of music became the same world that pushed their relationship into chaos, mixing passion with mistakes until the two became impossible to separate. For fans, the drama felt shocking because the couple always looked united in public. But behind the scenes, the cheating whispers grew so loud that they drowned out every promise. In the end, the love that once inspired their work became tangled in betrayal, showing how even the most creative hearts can lose control when temptation keeps pulling them back into the same storm. 19. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal dominated the court like nobody else, a true giant with skills that turned every game into a highlight reel. But while his public life looked larger than life, his private world was slipping into a kind of chaos that kept repeating itself. Shaq later admitted that his biggest weakness wasn't on the court, but in his own home, where cheating kept breaking everything he tried to build. His marriage to Shawnee started with love, excitement, and the power couple energy fans adored. Yet the fame, attention, and constant travel created a dangerous space where temptation waited around every corner. Instead of stepping away from it, Shaq let it pull him into choices he later regretted, creating a pattern he couldn't seem to stop. Affairs turned into arguments. Arguments turned into distance. And the distance grew into a wall neither of them could climb. Shawnee tried to fight for the marriage, but trust doesn't heal easily when betrayal keeps coming back. Shaq eventually looked back at those years with honesty, admitting that he was the one who broke something good. Even with his charisma, success, and unmatched presence, he couldn't outrun the consequences that followed. His story shows how even the biggest stars can lose their way when loyalty becomes a battle they keep losing, and how fame can make someone feel unstoppable while their personal life quietly falls apart behind the scenes. 18. Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade's life looked like the picture of success. Championships, fame, respect, and a romance with Gabrielle Union that felt like it came straight out of a movie. But behind that perfect image was a truth he couldn't run from, no matter how fast he moved on the court. When he admitted to fathering a child during a break from their relationship, the world finally saw the cracks he had been trying so hard to hide. For Gabrielle, the betrayal cut deeper than anyone knew. She had stood by him during some of the hardest chapters of his career, only to learn that trust had slipped out of the relationship. The cheating scandal didn't just hit the tabloids, it reshaped the way people viewed their entire love story. Even though Dwayne owned up to his mistakes, the damage had already taken its place. Fame can make anyone feel untouchable, and Dwayne's world was filled with attention, admiration, and temptation that never seemed to end. Instead of stepping back, he found himself pulled into choices that created long-term consequences. He tried to rebuild the relationship, tried to grow, tried to learn, but the past kept reminding the world of the moment he let everything fall apart. His cheating became a symbol of how even the brightest stars can lose their way when loyalty becomes harder than winning championships. And no matter how much success he collected, he couldn't erase the chapter where love slipped through his fingers because of his own decisions. 17. Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka went from respected assistant to head coach hero, turning the Boston Celtics into a powerhouse with a calm confidence that people admired. But just as his career reached its peak, his personal choices sent everything crashing down. When the truth came out that he had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, it wasn't just a scandal, it was a storm that shook the entire league. His partner, Nia Long, had stood by him for years, building a family and a life together. But the cheating revelation didn't just break trust. It broke the foundation they had spent so long trying to protect. The public couldn't believe that someone with so much potential would risk everything. Yet the pattern was unmistakable. Temptation became the trap he walked into again and again. The suspension from the Celtics became a symbol of how far-reaching the consequences of betrayal can be. It wasn't just a private mistake. It became a professional disaster that followed him everywhere. Even when he tried to rebuild his career, the story of his cheating overshadowed everything else. Ime's downfall showed how quickly one moment of weakness can unravel years of hard work, and how even the most promising leaders can destroy their own path when they can't stay loyal to the people who believed in them. 16. Ne-Yo. Ne-Yo built a career on smooth vocals, romantic lyrics, and songs that made people feel understood. But behind the scenes, his real-life story didn't match the love-filled music he was known for. When his wife, Crystal Renee, exposed him for cheating throughout their entire marriage and secretly fathering children outside the relationship, the truth hit harder than any headline. Fans were stunned because Ne-Yo always presented himself as the gentleman of R&B, the man who wrote about loyalty and devotion. But in his private life, he kept slipping into the same patterns, choosing temptation over honesty again and again. Crystal tried to hold the marriage together, but each new revelation pushed them further apart until there was nothing left to fix. Ne-Yo eventually acknowledged the mistakes, yet the damage had already settled into his reputation. The world no longer saw him as the clean-cut artist they once admired. Instead, his cheating scandals became part of his identity, overshadowing even his biggest hits. His story proves how easy it is for a celebrity to live two separate lives, one polished for the public and one full of hidden choices that refuse to stay hidden forever. And even with all the success, awards, and fame, Ne-Yo couldn't escape the truth that loyalty was the one thing he kept failing at. 15. Usher spent decades at the top of the music world, charming audiences with his voice, moves, and undeniable presence. But behind every smooth performance was a personal life tangled in mistakes that kept haunting him. From his early relationships to his high-profile marriage to Tamika Foster, cheating became a pattern he couldn't seem to stop repeating. The scandals didn't just affect his partners, they shaped the way the public saw him. Whispered accusations grew into broken relationships, and broken relationships turned into headlines that would follow him for years. Usher always seemed to juggle fame, passion, and temptation, but the balance never held for long. Even when he tried to move forward, the stories kept resurfacing, reminding everyone of the chapters he'd rather leave behind. Lovers accused him of infidelity, former partners spoke about betrayal, and the image of the charming superstar started to carry a darker edge. Usher's journey shows how even the most talented men can struggle with commitment when fame offers endless opportunities to wander. His voice may have made millions fall in love, but behind closed doors, loyalty was the battle he kept losing to his own impulses. 14. Nelly. Nelly won fans with his smooth flow, catchy hooks, and laid-back swagger. But when it came to relationships, his life looked much different from the music video suggested. His long romance with Ashanti once seemed unshakable, yet whispers of cheating followed him everywhere. The more famous he became, the more those rumors grew, painting a picture of a man who couldn't resist temptation even when he had something real at home. The relationship stretched for years, filled with moments of passion, but also cracks caused by infidelity. Ashanti tried to stay loyal, but stories of Nelly stepping out kept resurfacing, turning their love into something that felt fragile and unpredictable. Even after they broke up, the cheating rumors never quite left him. Fans noticed how Nelly always seemed caught between love and the lifestyle that came with fame. Parties, tours, and constant attention created an environment where boundaries blurred, and he often chose the thrill of the moment over long-term trust. His story shows how charm and fame can build a career, but can also destroy a relationship when loyalty becomes an optional choice instead of a priority. And for Nelly, the cheating whispers became part of the legacy he never wanted attached to his name. 13. Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese Gibson built his career on love songs, emotional performances, and a soulful voice that made people feel every word. But in real life, the romance he sang about never matched the chaotic patterns inside his personal world. Over the years, his ex-partners spoke about betrayals, emotional distance, and the kind of cheating that slowly eats away at trust until nothing solid is left to stand on. Tyrese always appeared passionate and committed at first, yet temptation kept pulling him into choices that left deep cracks in his relationships. His marriage to Samantha Lee, which once looked unbreakable, eventually fell apart under the weight of accusations and emotional turmoil. Cheating rumors followed him through different chapters of his life, turning private arguments into public scandals. The hardest part for fans was seeing the gap between the man who wrote heartfelt lyrics and the man whose real-life decisions caused so much pain. Critics pointed out how Tyrese often spoke about love and loyalty, but struggled to practice those same values behind closed doors. No matter how sincere he seemed in interviews, the stories of infidelity remained a constant shadow, shaping how people saw him as a partner. Tyrese's journey shows how even those who talk the most about love can end up losing it when their actions don't match their promises. 12. Tristan Mac Wilds. Tristan. Mac Wilds built a career filled with talent and potential, winning audiences with his roles in television dramas and his music, but the spotlight also revealed the parts of his life he struggled to keep steady. In his long-term relationship, cheating whispers followed him again and again, turning private troubles into public conversations. For years, Mac tried to show that he was committed, especially when he started a family. But the rumors of infidelity kept circling like smoke around a fire that never fully went out. Those close to him spoke about moments where he slipped into old habits, letting temptation override the stability he said he wanted. His partner fought to keep the relationship strong, yet every new incident chipped away at the trust they had built. The emotional weight of repeated betrayal made the love feel unpredictable, and even the good moments couldn't erase the pain caused by the bad ones. Mac's life shows how fame can make temptation feel endless, and how difficult it becomes to stay loyal when attention is always waiting behind another door. Despite his success, his personal battles with cheating created a narrative he could never fully shake off, shaping the way people saw him as both an artist and a partner. 11. Offset. Offset stepped into the rap world with energy, style, and a talent that pushed Migos to the top of the charts. But while his career was soaring, his personal life was constantly crashing into headlines filled with cheating scandals. His marriage to Cardi B became a whirlwind of love, drama, breakups, makeups, and repeated betrayals that the world couldn't stop watching. Early in their relationship, Offset was already facing accusations of infidelity, and those accusations only grew bigger as fame pulled him in every direction. Even when Cardi tried to give the marriage a chance, rumors and exposed conversations made it clear that he kept falling into old habits. Offset often talked about wanting to be better, but fans noticed how quickly his actions contradicted his words. Surprise apologies turned into public gestures, yet the cycle never seemed to stop. Each new cheating story added another layer to the cracks forming between them. His journey became a reminder of how fame can twist a relationship into something unstable, especially when loyalty keeps slipping away. Offset had everything: success, attention, a family. But the same temptations he embraced early in his career followed him into fatherhood and marriage, shaping a love story that was as messy as it was unforgettable. 10. Future built an entire image of being mysterious, rebellious, and emotionally untouchable. But behind the cool exterior was a long trail of cheating scandals, complicated relationships, and paternity drama that seemed to grow with every year. The world didn't just see him as someone who cheated. They saw him as someone who made cheating part of his persona. From his relationship with Sierra to the many women who came forward after, Future became known for juggling romance with recklessness. Again and again, partners spoke about broken promises, constant betrayals, and the shock of finding out. He had been seeing other women at the same time. His lifestyle made loyalty nearly impossible, and his fame only magnified the chaos. Future rarely addressed the accusations directly, adding even more mystery to the truth. But the number of relationships that fell apart told the real story. For many fans, it became clear that his music about heartbreak and detachment came straight from his real-life actions. Future's story shows how fame can turn infidelity into a pattern that feels normal, even when it leaves pain everywhere it touches. His cheating scandals didn't just affect his partners, they shaped his entire public identity, turning him into one of the most controversial figures in modern hip-hop. 9. Safari Samuels. Safari Samuels built his name through music and reality television, but his personal life soon overshadowed his career. His marriage to Erica Mena looked passionate and intense on camera, yet behind all that energy was a cycle of cheating accusations that never seemed to end. Every season brought new fights, new claims, and new heartbreak that played out for millions to see. Erica repeatedly spoke about Safari stepping out of the marriage, accusing him of flirting, messaging, and meeting other women while pretending everything was fine at home. Safari often denied or downplayed the allegations, but the constant emotional explosions on reality TV told a different story. Fans saw a man who loved attention but struggled with loyalty, especially when temptation came from all directions. Safari's lifestyle kept pulling him into situations that he feels are impossible. Even when he promised to change, the same patterns showed up again, turning their marriage into a cycle of betrayal and disappointment. His cheating scandals became a major part of his public identity, overshadowing his music and reinventing him as someone whose romantic life was always on the edge of collapse. Safari's story shows how fame and impulsive choices can mix into a storm that destroys even the loudest, most passionate relationships. 8. Kevin Hunter. Kevin Hunter spent years in the shadows of Wendy Williams's massive fame, playing the role of a supportive husband and business partner. But behind that controlled public image was a secret life he kept hidden for over a decade. While Wendy worked non-stop, building an empire with her talk show and media personality, Kevin was quietly investing his time, money, and emotions into another woman. This wasn't a short-lived affair. It was a long, deeply rooted relationship that existed right alongside his marriage. For Wendy, the truth hit like a tidal wave. She learned her husband had not only been cheating for years, but had also fathered a child with his mistress. The betrayal didn't just break her heart, it shattered her entire sense of stability. Fans who had watched her discuss celebrity drama suddenly saw her living in her own version of the same scandals she used to report, Kevin's. Double life exposed how deeply some people can hide infidelity, managing two separate worlds while pretending everything is fine at home. The public watched Wendy fight through the emotional fallout, while Kevin's actions became headlines. His betrayal turned into one of the most talked about celebrity scandals, revealing the painful truth that even the strongest personalities can be blindsided when trust is broken from the inside. 7. Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen spent his career winning championships, earning respect, and becoming one of the greatest players of his era. But while he dominated the court, his personal life was far more unstable. His marriage to Larsa Pippen, once seen as a powerful partnership, became tangled in cheating rumors that followed both of them for years. Scottie's NBA lifestyle, filled with travel, attention, and countless opportunities to wander, created an environment where fidelity became harder to maintain. Stories circulated about him stepping out during the height of his career, while Larsa faced her own scandals. The pressure, fame, and distance between them made loyalty feel fragile, and their marriage began to unravel under the weight of repeated trust issues. Their relationship turned into a long, drawn-out breakup filled with accusations, emotional distance, and moments where both seemed ready to walk away long before the papers were signed. Fans watched the once happy family break apart publicly, with cheating whispers surrounding almost every chapter. Scottie's journey shows how even the most disciplined athletes can struggle with commitment when fame keeps pulling them into temptations that never seem to end. His story became a reminder that success on the court doesn't guarantee success at home. 6. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy became one of the most successful comedians in Hollywood history, turning his talent into worldwide fame, blockbuster movies, and a legacy that shaped comedy for an entire generation. But while the world laughed at his jokes and admired his success, his personal life was filled with scandals, hidden relationships, and cheating stories that followed him through every phase of his career. Eddie's charm made him irresistible to many, but that same charm created trouble behind closed doors. During his long relationship and marriage to Nicole Murphy, cheating rumors surfaced more than once, causing emotional damage that eventually broke the marriage apart. Their split became a major headline because of the stories surrounding infidelity, women stepping forward, and the complicated dynamic Eddie created by constantly living between love and temptation. Even after the divorce, his relationships remained surrounded by whispers, from secret romances to sudden breakups that hinted at deeper issues. Eddie became known not just for his films, but also for his complicated love life. His partners often found themselves stuck in a cycle of instability, where affection was real, but loyalty was fragile. Hollywood watched as Eddie continued building his career, raising a large family, yet still facing cheating accusations that refused to disappear. His private life became just as dramatic as some of the movies he starred in, filled with emotional highs and painful betrayals that shaped his story as a partner and father. Eddie Murphy's journey shows how fame can complicate love, turning relationships into a storm of temptation, mistakes, and consequences that last for years. 5. Adam Pacman Jones. Adam Pacman Jones became famous not just for his football talent, but also for the whirlwind lifestyle that followed him everywhere. With endless controversy, nightclub incidents, and emotional outbursts, his personal life was already unstable. But cheating rumors made everything worse. Multiple women came forward over the years with claims of infidelity, painting a picture of a man who struggled to stay committed. While his wife tried to maintain stability, Pachman's impulsive behavior kept pulling him into situations that created doubt and heartbreak. Late-night outings, secret conversations, and the constant presence of temptation turned their relationship into something fragile. Even when he tried to focus on football and family, the patterns of betrayal resurfaced, making it clear that loyalty was a battle he rarely won. Pachman's name became tied to scandal after scandal, and cheating was one of the recurring themes in the storm that surrounded him. His reckless decisions didn't just affect his career. They shaped the course of his personal life, turning love into another chaotic chapter he couldn't control. His journey shows how a lifestyle built on impulse and adrenaline can make fidelity feel impossible, especially for someone who never learned to slow down long enough to protect what mattered most. 4. Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony spent years as one of basketball's brightest stars, admired for his scoring ability and calm confidence. But at home, things were not nearly as steady. His marriage to Lala Anthony began with deep love and support, yet cheating allegations soon started shaking the foundation they once proudly displayed. Rumors surfaced that Carmelo had fathered a child with another woman, and the whispers quickly grew into explosive headlines. Lala, who had stood by him through career highs and lows, found herself trying to navigate a storm of betrayal that kept getting louder. Even when they attempted to reconcile, new allegations appeared, making it harder to rebuild trust. Carmelo always stayed quiet about the details, but the public didn't miss the signs. The once beautiful relationship slowly fractured under the weight of repeated mistakes. Fans saw a man who had everything: fame, success, a loving family, yet kept slipping into choices that destroyed the life he had built. His story stands as one of the most talked about NBA cheating scandals, showing how even a superstar can lose the people who love him when temptation becomes stronger than loyalty. 3. Shaquille O'Neal dominated basketball like few men ever could. He was larger than life, on and off the court, with a personality that filled every room he walked into. But the same strength that made him unstoppable in the NBA didn't show up in his personal life. Shaq admitted openly that he struggled with staying loyal, and his marriage to Shawnee O'Neal eventually broke under the weight of repeated cheating. Behind the smiles and family photos was a pattern Shawnee could no longer ignore. Shaq later confessed that the blame for their breakup fell squarely on his shoulders, that he was the one who let temptation win over commitment. His fame brought endless attention, late nights, constant travel, and a level of temptation most people can't imagine. Instead of resisting, he walked into those moments again and again. The cheating didn't just cost him a marriage, it changed the way people saw him as a husband and father. Shawnee moved on, turning her pain into strength, while Shaq spent years acknowledging the mistakes and trying to grow from them. His story became one of the most high-profile examples of how even a legend can lose the people he loves when loyalty becomes an afterthought. Shaq's honesty later brought him respect, but it couldn't erase the heartbreak he caused during the years he couldn't stop cheating. 2. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg built an empire on music, business, charisma, and a cool persona that the world adored. But the truth lurking underneath his success was far more complicated. His marriage to Shantae Broaddus has survived longer than most celebrity relationships, yet it has been rocked by repeated cheating scandals for decades. From early in his career, Snoop found himself pulled into temptation everywhere he went. Tours, studios, parties, and business ventures where loyalty often felt like an afterthought. Women claimed affairs, secret messages surfaced, and even paternity drama entered the picture. Each scandal tested Shantae's strength in ways the public couldn't fully understand. Snoop often spoke about wanting to change, but fame repeatedly placed him in situations that stirred up old habits. His choices created emotional wounds that never fully healed, even as the marriage continued. Fans watched as cheating accusations became a recurring storyline in his life, shaping the way people viewed him as a husband. His journey shows how complicated long-term relationships become when celebrity, power, and constant temptation mix. Snoop's love for his family is real, but so is the trail of betrayals that followed him through nearly his entire career. His story is one of the most enduring examples of a superstar battling infidelity he could never fully walk away from. 1. Jay-Z. Jay-Z stands at the top of music, business, and global influence. But even with all his success, he faced one of the biggest scandals in recent celebrity history. His cheating on Beyoncé, a woman the world sees as untouchable, became a cultural earthquake the moment it surfaced. The cracks first appeared in whispered rumors, then exploded when Beyoncé released Lemonade, a body of work filled with pain, betrayal, and emotional honesty that shook the entire industry. Behind the music was a marriage stretched thin by Jay-Z's choices. He later admitted that he had been unfaithful, explaining the emotional distance and unresolved trauma that led him down a destructive path. But the truth remained. He hurt someone millions admire, and the fallout nearly cost him his family. The cheating forced the couple into therapy, rebuilding, and years of healing. Jay-Z found himself confronting the parts of his life he had never dealt with, while Beyoncé channeled her pain into art that changed the cultural landscape. His scandal became one of the most talked about betrayals in modern celebrity history, marking Jay-Z not just as a mogul, but as a man who almost lost everything because he couldn't walk away from temptation. His recovery took time, work, and humility, but the stain of that moment remains a defining part of his story. In the end, these stories remind you that even the brightest stars can be caught in storms they created themselves. Fame might hide the truth for a while, but it never protects anyone from the consequences that come crashing down when secrets finally spill out. Some rebuilt their lives, some lost everything, and some are still pretending nothing ever happened. But the real question is, if even celebrities with all the money, power, and charm in the world can't stay loyal, what does that say about the price of fame? If you want more deep dives into the scandals Hollywood hopes you forget, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and drop your thoughts in the comments. What should we uncover next?